Hey everyone, and welcome back to Clean Eating Kitchen. I'm Carrie, and I have a master's degree in public health with a specialty in nutrition. This is my channel where I share easy, gluten-free, and dairy-free recipes and tips so you can feel your best. Now today I'm sharing a what I eat in a day video. It's high protein meals and snacks. I'm trying to reach 100 grams of protein per day without dairy. So we're gonna see how I do. I'm gonna show you the meals that I am making today. And so we'll see how it goes. So here is a funny little note that I made, just kind of breaking down how I plan to get the protein per day. And it came up to 95, but I think that I actually reached 100. And you'll see later, I ended up going out to lunch and I looked up the nutrition information, and the salad I had actually had 36 grams of protein. So here's a little overview. I'm getting ready to make breakfast, and I recently purchased some more protein powders because honestly, it's pretty impossible to get 100 grams of protein without some sort of protein powders. And I try to use a mix of plant-based powders and animal-based ones, specifically collagen. I really like. I also like the hydrolyzed beef protein powder, and then I usually try, just I wanted to mention, I try to get unflavored protein powders, and I do have a really great article on my website, cleaneatingkitchen.com, with the best paleo protein powders. So I'll link that in the description box below if you want to see my favorites. And you've seen me make my green smoothie before. I pretty much do it the same every time, so you can go back and check out some of my other videos where I go into a lot more detail of making my green smoothie, but I do include quite a few ingredients. I call it my my secret health weapon, because it is just a really great way to get in those green leafy vegetables, which I don't love to eat kale raw or even just steamed, but in a smoothie I can't taste it at all. And I have this new technique now, guys. I'm making two blend or pitcherfuls of smoothie. One is for my husband, one is for me, and I make 2 servings each, so we have smoothies for 2 days in a row, if that makes sense. I'm not having to make them every day because it takes a good 15-20 minutes to put together this smoothie. You can see my little smoothie cabinet here. I actually have a video, I think it was like specifically called What's in My Smoothie Cabinet, and you can I'll link that video below as well, and that goes into all the little like secret potions that I put into my smoothie to make them taste good, including things like cocoa powder and vitamin C powder and all those good things. And I actually really enjoy drinking it. Now, to add even more protein to my breakfast time, I'm adding a scoop of collagen protein to my coffee. I use a organic decaf coffee. I really can't tolerate caffeine unless I have a migraine. Then I find that caffeine helps me get over my migraine. But my little trick here is, if you put your collagen in the mug before you pour the coffee into it, it blends really well. Otherwise, it will clump, and it's just kind of hard to get mixed together. But this way, it's really easy, and it's an extra 10 grams of protein. And I also wanted to mention that I think it's important, protein, when you're really active. And I am a pretty active person. I usually get out in the morning. I'm showing you how foggy it is at the beach this morning. But anyways, that's one reason that protein is great. Now, this was a local cafe. It's a California-based chain. I mentioned this salad. It was called a keto Cobb salad with chicken, and it had over 35 grams of protein, although I didn't eat the whole thing. And I had some gluten-free bread on the side. And then after lunch, my husband and I went to our local farm stand. I believe they do sell some local meats here, but today we just picked up some locally grown strawberries and carrots, and it's just a lovely place to go and get some fresh produce. And the strawberries were amazing, and I just want to remind you that it's important, depending on what kind of diet you're on, but I love having fresh fruits because getting fiber is really important. So fruits and vegetables are important to have in the diet as well as protein. Now, for a snack, I've been drinking this bone broth. You can see 1 cup has 13 grams of protein, so it's just a super easy way to get that extra boost of protein, especially in the afternoon. I don't love the flavor, but I kind of do it because I also know that it helps my gut health. And I am lazy. I don't simmer it on the stove top. I just pop it in the microwave for about 45 seconds and it's good to go. And it's just super easy. I was a little bit hungry this afternoon. I think because I'd also done Pilates that morning. So I had some of those fresh carrots and a little bit of peanut butter, which I seem to be tolerating better lately, which I'm so happy. I wanted to mention that I had mentioned I was trying to incorporate dairy back into my diet in my last video with my Costco haul, and it really didn't work out. I got IBS symptoms and joint pain, and so sticking with dairy free. And that's kind of the point of this video, right? And now I'm showing you how I make my chia pudding, which I like to have as after dinner. It's kind of like a sweet treat. I do grind my chia seeds. They're easier to digest that way. I don't think our digestive tracts can really break down those hard chia seeds. Same with flaxseed, by the way. I do blend it in a dry blender first, and then I just store it in the refrigerator. It's easy to add a tablespoon or two to a smoothie, or in this case, I make my chia pudding. And it's not a huge protein source. That's kind of not the point, but it's more of the nutrition, the fiber. It's really filling. And I think it's good for our digestive systems to get these nuts and seeds, in this case the chia seeds, which are highly nutritious and they're really neutral in flavor. So I just add a few tablespoons of the ground chia to a jar. I'm adding some honey for sweetness, vanilla paste just for some extra flavor, and then I use this unsweetened coconut milk beverage, which is a little lighter than the canned coconut milk, but I really like it because I am avoiding soy as well. I wish I could eat soy. My naturopathic physician suggested for hormone balance right now to lay off, or not lay off, but not to incorporate soy back into my diet. I did add a little, I think about a half a scoop of one of the protein powders to this chia pudding. It didn't blend super great. I don't know that I would do it in the future, but because today I was specifically trying to reach that 100-gram mark of protein, I needed to add the protein powder, and it ended up being okay. It wasn't, it added kind of like a gritty texture. Then for dinner, I decided to make ground beef tacos. I use these grain-free taco shells from Satiety. I love the Satiety company. I love all their products. They're not a sponsor or anything, but I just really think they make great stuff, especially for those of us who have autoimmune disease and we have to avoid grains or be cautious with grains. And then I also made some bone broth rice. And this is so easy. I use this bone broth that I love. Sadly, they're not selling it at Costco anymore, but I just added it to my rinsed rice. I do find that I can tolerate white rice pretty well. And then I'm just showing you here the condiments that I'm going to be putting on the tacos, which is salsa, some dairy-free yogurt, some jalapenos, and some guacamole. And of course, you can add what you like, but it's good to have some toppings since we're not doing any dairy or cheese or anything like that. And then I just cooked up the veggies, which was some bell pepper and onion, and then the beef. And then I made the rice. I did cook it in the Instant Pot. I think it's so easy that way. It takes 6 minutes and it's fluffy and really yummy. And then I added some chopped cilantro on top. My naturopath pointed out that I have some heavy metals in my system, so I'm kind of working on doing that as well. I have a lot of things I'm managing right now. But I'll continue to talk about that in future videos, and I hope that this is really helpful. And then I had some chia pudding for dessert. So it's the next day, and I thought I would give my thoughts on how it was eating 100 grams of protein yesterday. And it occurred to me that it was more filling, like I felt more satisfied having that much protein. So I think in a way it does help with blood sugar balance. So I did find a high protein diet to be satisfying. I didn't get hungry throughout the night, which is nice. That's been happening to me lately, which is really frustrating. And I took a few notes here. I will say it was difficult to get 100 grams of protein without dairy, without soy. And I wanted to also note that when you do eat more plant sources of protein, like from beans or seeds, that they tend to be not as bioavailable as animal-based protein. So you do kind of need to be mindful of the sources of your proteins, because 100 grams of animal protein would not necessarily be equivalent to 100 grams of plant protein unless it was maybe soy, which I'm also avoiding. So it was difficult. I think ultimately for all of us, we need to remember we're all individuals. Now, I have been personally recommended by a medical professional to shoot for 100 grams of protein, but of course that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be appropriate for you. And I will say on days where I don't do any sort of muscle building exercise, I just don't necessarily have as much of an appetite, especially for protein. And so I would just emphasize that we all have our own needs, so it's really important for you to figure out what works best for you. For me, it seems like eating probably between 85 and 90 grams of protein is doable for me on my high activity days. It helps regulate my blood sugar, hopefully will help keep my hormones more balanced, and then I think, need to continue avoiding dairy. I can eat a little bit of eggs. I can't remember if I mentioned that. So like yesterday in my Cobb salad that I got at the cafe, it probably had the equivalent of one hard-boiled egg, and that didn't bother me, but the dairy definitely seems to bother my digestive system, and then I'll get more soreness in my joints, so I know it's causing inflammation. And then I'm also avoiding soy as part of my hormone balancing. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I hope that you're subscribed to my channel. I have a really special video that I filmed this morning. I have a special guest coming to my channel and making a few changes to how I'm filming, and trying to create more content that's actually authentic for me and useful for you and inspiring. So stay tuned, and let's see. I want to link for you a video. I did a video that was, I think it was a what I eat in a week, and it was trying to heal my gut. It was either what I eat in a day or what I eat in a week, but I'm going to link that for you, because if you like this video, you probably like that one too. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.